Today we are going to discuss method overloading in Java, and it is very simple topic we can cover in just 5 minutes. So in the video we can discuss like what is the use of method overloading, what are the rules, what is the definition, and with some examples. So let's proceed. So the method overloading, the name indicates its definition itself. Like if a class has a multiple methods having same name but different in parameters, it is known as method overloading. So let's say if I have a class A and I want to write down two methods with the same name, but they are rules. We cannot write two methods with the exact same signatures while using method overloading or while implementing method overloading in our class. So what are the rules? So okay, now we can discuss what are the rules here. So there are 3 or 4 rules majorly. So first rule is the number of parameters in two methods are needs to be different. So let's say I have 2 methods, the input parameters needs to be different, or either number of parameters, like the in method we have a 2 input parameter, in another method we have a 3 input parameter, so that's different number of parameters. The second thing is the data types of the input parameters needs to be different. The third is the order of parameters. Let's say I have a same method with same name and same input parameters with same data type as well, but the ordering of those parameters is different. So this is also the example of method overloading. So now there is one more case, and it is very important because if interviewer asking to you like any example of method overloading, he must ask this question. Why? Because this is the corner case you can consider, or the important rule for method overloading. If method overloading is not possible by changing the return type of method only, we can see with the example in later slide. So let me proceed with another. So now let's say where we can use it and what are the benefits of method overloading. So first, let's say a user wants to multiply, or you let's say user gave you some input parameters, and as a programmer you want to return the multiplication of that number. So let's say if my one user passing or giving me 2 input parameters and another user giving me 3 input parameters. So let's say one programmer declare 2 methods, a multiply and b multiply, and write down their code just a star b star c and return the multiplication of both the numbers, or the multiplication of 3 numbers. So now the problem is, let's say if another program doing the same or doing some changes in the same class, then he will see, oh, these 2 methods has been declared already in class a multiply and b multiply. So it is not good in reading, like programmatically it is not in correct readable form. So we can declare the same name for both the method. Let's say because my use case is same, the idea needs to differ in terms of parameters. How? So let's say the output I want to return is a multiplication of the number. Now it depends on user if he passing 2 numbers or 3 numbers. So this is the example of method overloading. So, and of course this is not the good approach to solve, or this is not the one approach that we can solve this use case, because let's say if user wants or give you 10 numbers, 10 number of parameters, input parameters, or 10 numbers, and you want to return the multiplication of all the 10 numbers, then you need to write down all the methods with different number of input parameters in your class. This is not feasible solution as well. In that case you need to accept input parameter at a runtime and store in the list, and in the for loop you can just read one by one element and multiply and just return the multiplication of that number. But why we are discussing here is because this is a good example that if we have the common use cases, and if we want to implement in a same class on the basis of the input parameters. Maybe different, maybe different in data types, maybe in numbers, so we can implement it. So now we can proceed with the example. So there are just four simple examples that cover all our four rules. So let me go to that. So this is my first example. So as you are able to see, we have two add methods in my same class, but as you can see, this is a number. The input parameters are different in numbers. In first method there is two input parameters, and in the second method we have a three input parameters. So this is the example of method overloading. Now the example 2, we have same add method in the same class, but as you can see, the type of input parameters is different. First is an integer and the second is double. So this is also the example of method overloading. Now my example 3, we have same method student in the same class now, and we have a same input parameters with same type, but as you can see, in the first parameter I have a name as a first input parameter, and the second method name as a second input parameter. So the ordering of the input parameter is different here. So this is also the good example of method overloading. The example 4 and the important one. Interviewer can ask this if we asking method overloading. So as you can see, we have two methods with the same name add, and we have same input parameters as well, and the type of input parameter and the order of input parameters also the same. The difference is in the return type. In the first method I have a return type int, and in the second method I have a return type double. So it is not an example of method overloading. It gives a compile time error. The add method is already declared. So as I have earlier mentioned, the corner case or the good point, if we are using method overloading, if only the return type is different, then it is not a method overloading. We must need either it number of different input parameters, type of input parameters, or the ordering of input parameters. So that's it for today. So we have covered method overloading in just 5 minutes, and it is very simple topic.